Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome. As you hop on, say hello, tell us how you're doing today. So today I am chatting with the lovely Moira. Moira is very dear to my heart. She has been with me for a long time. We were just talking, it must be 2 years now that we've been working together in different capacities, initially as a Reiki client, and then came with me on this Ayurveda journey. So she's going to be sharing a little bit about her story with us today. If you've got any questions, pop it in the comments. But without further ado, I will bring her on. Hello.
Holly.
So lovely to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know you're really busy, so I really do appreciate you taking the time to do this. But so, handing over to you a little bit. So, do you want to talk us through a little bit about? So, even before we met, you had kind of made the decision, hadn't you, around? I think it was like, this is my year to take care of me. I remember us having that conversation right in the beginning. So, do you want to talk us a little bit about that, how your journey really began?
Yes. I suppose before the journey happened at all, I had, and I talked to you about it several times, almost disconnected from my emotions and from my body. I felt that my reason for being here was to be looking after everybody else and to work with everybody else, to the extent that I would go into work on crutches. And people would say, "You're iller than the patients. What are you doing here?" But as far as I was concerned, there was no other way. I had to be there for other people. To the extent that before I met you, Holly, I'd moved into older people's accommodation. I'd moved into a 50-plus flat where everything was easy to access because my mobility was so poor. As I said, I was on crutches. I was told that I was too young to have knee replacement, but I needed it. And I'd been diagnosed with osteoarthritis 10 years previously. And yeah, had got myself in a right old state. And I decided to go down in hours. I worked a 5-hour, all told, commute from home there and back, and worked full time. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So I reduced my hours, and I decided 2020 was going to be the year that I sorted myself out, that I got my health under way. And yeah, it was all kind of, I would be working on myself. And of course, working is what I'm good at. Going to you for Reiki was this kind of really relaxed and not having to do anything and just being there, which was a whole different place for me. I suppose it's important for me to put in here that I have been working in healthcare for well over 40 years and in mental health care for almost as long as that. But in all that time, I'd never got to the point of self-acceptance or even listening to myself, listening to my body, listening to my emotions. Squashed it down, all of it, because I had to get on. I had to look after people, I had to do things. And yeah, it all comes from first families, doesn't it? And your role. But yes, I found out from you, I'm moving on a bit now. I found out from you once I started working with you that my type is Kapha. And people will be hearing lots about doshas when they're working with you. But I am heavily Kapha. And heavily is an important word here because it is about being heavy, putting on weight the minute you see something to eat, never mind eating it. Kind of being slow around things and also keeping hold of things. And I've had 5 major bereavements in the last 15 years, could not shift out of the heaviness. Um, 2 divorces, all sorts of other things, and just carrying that heavy burden all the time. Um, I was a single parent from my children were 3 and 5, and uh, working full time and doing a PhD at the same time, because let's not take it too easy. So, yeah, I didn't make life easy for myself in any way. Um, and oh, I say we've got a wanderer behind us. Let's ignore. Um,
It's a terrible view. Sorry.
um, so yeah, starting to find out about myself in very similar ways to the way Lou was saying, was that I found out that, in fact, it wasn't because I was lazy. It wasn't because I wasn't interested. And it also wasn't all bad, that there was a lot of good stuff about being CAFA, and is probably why I was drawn to mental health work, which, in fact, was a patient who stood outside my door and said, "I need you," that made me end up working in mental health. So a lot of the things that are part of being CAFA, part of me, is actually why I've been doing the work that I've been doing all this time. So, yes, I suppose a lot of the issues that I had were about not taking care of myself. And this is the theme that's coming out a lot, isn't it? But really practical ways of not taking care of myself. So I think I've said to you in the past that I used to be the ping cuisine queen, that I did not cook. I put things in a microwave. I didn't engage with it. And I don't know that I necessarily tasted the food much. I just threw it down. And I started to cook. After I'd seen you and before the course started, I kind of got the determination together and joined a course around health and fitness. And part of that was to get out there and walk, which I know from you is something that is really helpful for me, and which I know from me now, having had 2 years of walking every day, and cooking for myself. And of course, you have recipes in your courses, and you link the recipes and you say, and if you're CAFA, add in some extra ginger, add in some extra chili. So it feels like you kind of skew them to fit what people's needs are. So I really enjoyed getting part of that. And now it doesn't occur to me to do anything else but cook. And
as you were saying that, I'm remembering the conversation we had, and I think it was right near the beginning where you were almost a bit, I think you used the word phobic around cooking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's amazing how that's shifted now. That's really changed.
Yeah. And I don't know how it shifted really, but I think, again, there's probably something about accepting that might not be your zone of genius, but you can do it. I think a lot of the time it was about, well, whatever I'm going to do is not going to be good enough. And so let's not bother.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was phobic. I wouldn't go in the kitchen unless I had to, and then would grab things and go. So yeah,
it's amazing actually when you think about how much things have changed during those 2 years. I mean, like you say, you're walking every day. You're now cooking. I remember you saying, like before, you'd never meditated before either.
No, I still meditate every morning, meditate every evening. And if I get some time in the middle, I'll meditate in the middle as well. And one of the things that helps me on that is because your meditations are about 10 minutes. People who do 2 hours meditations on their online, who do they think we are? And I know that in part of our retreats, we've meditated for longer. And I've asked you to do extra meditations. Say, oh, we're going to get a meditation in. But I think the whole kind of, what's the rush? It's only going to take 10 minutes and you're going to feel better for it. So especially, well, I love both the morning meditation and the sleep meditation. And of course, they work in different ways, which is just as well, really. And, the morning motivation where you say, and anything that comes up today, you are capable of. I ought to actually know it off by heart by now. But, this whole, whatever you're worried about, you can do it. What are you stressing about? And that is just so nice to hear every morning.
Yeah, that bit of boost of confidence in the morning.
Yeah.
So what
absolutely.
kind of results have you seen from doing all of that, everything you've done these past 2 years?
Well, the biggest one for me, which I don't know that other people would even see, is that I don't have that disconnect between me inside and me outside. I'm not pretending to people how I am. And I know if something's off kilter, and I'll do something about it, as opposed to squashing down all the feelings, often with food, and not allowing myself to be unwell or be anything but perfect for everybody. No, I now know I need to take some time out, or I need to go outside in the sunshine or something like that. So the disconnects are gone.
But that was quite extreme at one point, wasn't it? Like because I remember when we used to do things like body scan meditations and things, I remember you saying, I can't actually feel this in my body.
Yeah, I don't know where I am.
Yeah. But so that was like it was a really big disconnect, wasn't it? So that's amazing that you've now not only can hear what's going on for you and feel it, but do something about it, which is amazing.
I remember when I first started Pilates, my Pilates teacher would say, you're all skewed round. And I'd say, well, I don't know where I am. And she'd say, right, well, pull this bit over here and straighten up that way. So, I've connected, which is nice. And I know that in the testimonial, one of the things that I said that had changed was my relationship with myself and other people. So my relationship with myself, which is totally overwhelming, is that I don't start from a place where I'm in the wrong. And, that's different. That if there's an issue, let's work it out, not what have I done now?
Yeah.
How have I made this wrong now? I used to dread yearly appraisals in my work. And it was ridiculous because every appraisal I ever had, they used to say, you're doing the work of 3 people or more. And I always felt I was going to get told off for not doing well enough. So, so accepting myself more, working on my relationship with my other half, who you saw wandering about. And fortunately, he is so open to whatever I suggest that it actually makes it not scary to start a conversation with, wouldn't it be nice if? So, yes. And the big one, which is the big surprise that I haven't told you about so far, is, as you know, and other people might not know, my eldest son and I, for some reason, he decided that I ruined his life when I divorced his father. In fact, his father went to prison. but nothing to do with it. He never blames him. And we've had a very tumultuous relationship. And it got to the point where I was scared to hear from him because he would always be so angry, so abusive. You know, he's in his 30s now, but and very skilled at being angry and abusive. And it used to really worry me that he would have another go. And there was one time that you said to me, how would you feel if someone else said that, or something like that? And I thought, well, you know, anybody else who spoke to me like that, they'd be shown the door. Why am I allowing him to do this? And so a year ago, he moved to Greece, and he got married. She's obviously very good for him. But he said to me, well, it started off with he needed money or otherwise they'd throw him out of the country. So he contacted me, asked for money. I sent it. You know, that is the way it works with me and Dan. And then he's said, well, let's keep monthly contact. And we have been having great conversations.
Wow.
There's been no animosity. I mean, there was a point where I did say to him, look, Dan, and I'd been scared about saying that in the past because I thought, well, he'll never speak to me again. And I thought, well, he didn't speak to me much now. And actually, the way he speaks to me, I'll probably do better without. So I did say to him, you know, there's got to be a point where you realise that I can't undo whatever it was that you thought I'd done wrong. And either take responsibility or decide to move forward. But the past is in the past. What else can I do? How many times have I apologised for not being what you wanted me to be as a mother? And that seems to have been the momentum. And we now have these great conversations. And he puts love on his emails, tells me I'm sweet. Goodness me.
Oh, wow.
I can't believe it. And actually, last time, because he's in Greece, he was an hour ahead, but now he's 2 hours ahead. And I got mixed up with that, and I'd organised the Zoom and said, I'll see you at 12. And it was 12 for me. And I said, and you'll be on at 1. Anyway, it was the other way round. And he'd come on and said, I'm here, where are you? And I was online with someone else and said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be in and out. And then he came back, my bad, I got it wrong. I can't believe it. So
Moira, this is like groundbreaking. We've been talking about this relationship for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that sounds like that you asserting yourself has really shifted the dynamic.
Well, yes, and I was so scared to do that. And yet that seems to have been what brought him up short, where he thought, well, yeah, am I going to carry on like this for the rest of my life? So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so pleased for you, lovely. I really am.
Thank you. The other thing that I was going to say is that a lot of my health and fitness journey is about my grandchildren. And when I started this journey, it was to sort myself out, to work on my health. And then it kind of moved to getting more in touch with health and well-being. And then we did a lot on, because joy kept coming up in the cards and in everything else, finding the joy. Now for me, it's fun and fitness and going to see my grandchildren, having fun with them and being fit enough to do the stuff that they like to do is, you know, my big why, the whole point of everything for me. So, yeah, that feels as if we've really moved on.
And you know what? And I know people say this, but I mean, it really has been such an honour to be a part of your journey. I've so enjoyed working with you. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And it's funny because, like, I think people can perceive as a health coach, you're constantly telling people to get motivated and do the things and go exercise and go do, eat healthy. But actually, I would say probably 90% of my job is saying to people, stop being so hard on yourself. Seriously.
Exactly. Yes.
And I mean, to the point where you'd come to the, like in the program, you're like, I've done my homework and I've done this. And, you were the A-star student when you grew out.
I couldn't be anything else, Holly.
No. But you didn't even appreciate that part of you, which I found so ironic, was that you were doing it initially from that place of not good enough.
Yeah.
And then slowly and do you know what? I say slowly, it wasn't that slowly. It actually kind of shifted bit by bit by bit fairly quickly to this place of, do you know what? I'm all right. I don't need to prove myself to anyone. And that's been so wonderful to watch. It really has.
Thank you. And it's been great to just feel that movement in myself, because it's very hard living with a feeling that you're never going to come up to scratch.
Yeah.
And keep striving and then never feel good enough. And how does that help anybody?
And least of all you, a lot of the time, because you'll end up, self-sabotaging or, like you say, pushing away the things you need. So you talked, like, at the beginning of your journey, being on these crutches and your mobility being an issue. So where are you now then? How's that all changed?
So I do a couple of hours walking every morning. I go out at 6 and I love watching the sunrise. And I've made lots of friends amongst the dog walkers, and particularly the dogs, who do feel sorry for me because I haven't got a dog, so they join me. And I look forward to all of that. And of course, that was the sentence that you did about not I should do it, but I choose to do it. And when I wake up in the morning, I think, it's blowy, but I choose to give it a go. If it's too blowy, then I'm not doing it, but I'll choose. And of course, once you're out, you think, well, I'm wet already, I might as well keep going. So yes, and I do the Pilates, which I was doing anyway before my mobility. So, and the Pilates ladies are very good, and they'll say, you're walking with a bit of a limp. What happened there? And help me sort things out. But I mean, most of the time, people wouldn't really know that I had mobility problems. My problem is if I sit too long, I get stuck. So, keeping moving is really useful. Also, I know as a CAFA, winter is my worst time. And in the past, when we were able to, I would go away to the sunshine as much as I could. And of course, that's not been possible. So this year I planned, and I joined Red January, which for those who don't know is run every day. I don't run, but you're allowed to walk it. And so that was something that motivated me and got me out there. And we're very lucky where we live, that there's nice places to walk and there's lights and you can see where you're going. And I've really enjoyed it. So yes, I want to get back into swimming. I love swimming, and my friends laugh at me and say, there's all that chlorine, you won't catch anything in a pool. But at the moment it's a bit cold and miserable. I prefer to go swimming somewhere warm. But and I do the being warm as much as possible. My friend's got a hot tub, we hot tub together, and yeah, I know I need to be warm, so I make sure I am warm.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love
Uh,
that. There's lots of lovely comments coming in as well. I don't know if you
was
can
there?
see them, but
No, I've got an empty chat, and I thought, oh, I'm talking to just Holly.
no. So Melanie says hi, hello. Um, Gabby says hi. Gabby's saying,
Oh, Gabby.
"Oh, bless you. We miss you, lovely." Um, yeah, and Melanie's agreeing with the winter.
Yeah.
Comments. Yes, I think the problem is it's a problem for so many people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when our winters seem to go on for 9 months.
Yeah.
It can feel a bit never ending, but yeah. So anything else you want to share with the people out there if they're thinking, do you know what, I probably should do something?
Oh,
And
should you can choose.
I
What?
love the fact you corrected me. That's perfect.
Yeah. What I would say is, uh, it isn't a course that just you do and you get stick it and you go away and forget it. I mean, I've gone over the stuff that we've worked on time and time again, and it's nice to see how things change. And of course, you use it with other people as well. And yeah, it's something that it's like ripples in a pond that spread out, and that you can feel the effects in different ways as you go along. So this isn't a course for 12 weeks where you do it and it's over. It's something that hopefully, and I truly believe that it will actually influence the rest of your life. And so, what price do you put on that? Yeah.
And that's always my intention. As you know, it's not about, I don't believe, as you know, I firmly believe that actually restoring health and balance in the body is not just about doing all the things. We
Mm,
can all do all the things and Google all the things that we can do. But like I say, without that mindset piece,
mm,
it's never actually going to be sustained. It's never actually going to create the transformation. And it's going to be coming from that place of should, must,
mm, mm.
because I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And that ripples out into every area of our life, doesn't it? Like you say,
Mm,
relationships, how you interact at work, or
yeah.
um,
I would also say that the other people in the group, when you first start, you think, well, I don't know these people. And then you end up sharing things with them that you haven't shared with anybody else. And because of that, you become so connected
yeah,
and you really care about how those people are getting on, and want to know that they're okay. Um, so, we keep in contact outside as well.
yeah. I know, and it's something I was thinking about the other day. Because uh, I'm kind of part of that journey with you all. That
Mm,
once my clients move on, I think I need to start having some kind of detachment therapy or something because we're all so invested in each
yeah.
other's, growth
Yeah.
and well-being and want to see them succeed. And um, that, yeah, I was thinking as this grows, this could be quite.
Yeah.
I'm going to
A
have to have a
movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have like a reunion once a year or something, as Gabby was saying. Gabby
Yeah.
suggested a reunion. We'll have to do that.
Mm.
Melanie said, "Do you get a certificate for this course?" Um, no, because it's kind of for your own benefit, and so potentially I could do a certified program around Ayurveda, but this is more. This isn't a training course as such. There is training, but actually it's a program. It's about creating that transformation instead of it being about I've just absorbed a load of information, if that makes sense. I don't know what you think about that, Moira. Should we certify the program, or do you think that would add anything?
I think there's a possibility of doing an offshoot, which is certificated, but because I obviously work with students in the university who are there for a reason and getting their certificate, that sometimes makes people focused on that certificate outcome and not on how the work is affecting them.
That's a
my
really
thought.
good point.
Other people might have different thoughts.
No, it's a good point actually, and just thinking of it as someone that's very pitter. When there's a certificate, I like
Yeah.
a certificate. I do, but I like to do the tick, 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 so I can get the certificate rather than, okay, let's just sit with this. That wouldn't be me in a certified program. But no, it's a good point, Melanie. Well, I'll think further on it. I will. Okay, thank you so much for coming
You are
on,
welcome.
and thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey. It really, really has been an honour. I've loved every second.
I clearly don't think it would have been like this if it hadn't been for you. So, yeah, it's been wonderful.
Thank you so much. You always make me want to cry, Moira. I think it's because I know I've seen every step along that journey, and it just. But it's so lovely to see you. Thank you so much, lovely. And we will have to catch up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down at the beach, maybe.
Definitely, for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Just to say, doors close on Sunday evening. So you still have a few days to sign up to join us. There is some gorgeous ladies already that have signed up. I can promise you it's going to be an amazing experience because of the people that are in there already. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to chat through and book in a call. But otherwise, actually, I will see you tomorrow because we've got the prize draw. So I will post in a reminder in the group, and I will see you tomorrow, 1:00 for our prize draw. But thanks again, Moira. Take care, and I will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.